can get along with everybody in the world. But man, if you can't get along with yourself, what a miserable life. What a miserable life. And here's the flip side of it. You cannot get along with everybody in the world. Let's say majority of people in the world, but you get along with yourself. You know what's so weird? The person that gets along with themselves, but nobody else in the world, lives a happier life than the person that doesn't get along with themselves, but they get along with everybody else in the rest of the world.
I am an average, ordinary human being. I used to say I'm below average, but the fact is I don't think that's really true. I actually think everybody's born with giftedness.
Now, what is your gift? It's the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. Your gift will make room for you. Stop trying to be something you ain't gifted at. All of you have this gift. Identify it. You're wasting your time pursuing your passion. Stop tripping. If you fry chicken better than everybody you know, you ought to be somewhere frying chicken. You know the story of Marie Callender's? She worked for a diner that was going out of business. It was her only job. She was a single mother. She needed that job, but the diner was gonna close. So she went to the owner of the diner and said, let me bake one of my pies and see if I can help you make a little money. He said, whatever, bring it in. She bought one pie in. They sold every slice. The next day, so many people asked for the pie, she had to make 4 pies. She made so many pies at this store that she eventually saved her money and put a commercial oven in her house. The dude's shop, he ain't selling hamburger no more. All he's selling is them damn pies. Marie Callender now has over 120 restaurants.
When you figure out what those gifts are, you use them in the service of other people, you start living a pretty blissful life. It didn't take very long for me to find out what my gifts were. It's not IQ. I'm not the strongest dude in the world. I'm not the funniest dude in the world. But I am a pretty good communicator, and I'm a really good listener. I love being present with people, and one of my gifts is I sincerely care about people. And you ought to be thinking about what your gifts are. I ask high performers, even like you guys, what's your giftedness? And you'd have a hard time telling me. Like for me, we did an IQ test in my family. I was 4th out of 4 people in my own house. I've been able to identify what my gifts are. I can transfer energy to people. I will outwork your ass. Those are gifts. So I always had these gifts that were mine. You've got yours. If you'll take an inventory of what they are, you'll be a more wealthy, productive person. I've been able to build a significant 9-figure net worth in my life, and I'm a goober. So I want you to think, if a goober dude like me can end up doing that stuff, what could you accomplish? I'm a really goofy dude. I've always wanted to be somebody. Anybody relate to that? Say yes or no. I don't want to be. There's a bunch of jokers want to be somebody. I need to be somebody. Are you like that or not? I needed to be somebody. I wasn't playing with my life. When I was 30 years old, I had my first heart attack. So I might not be the fastest, the strongest, the smartest, none of that crap, but I will outwork your ass, and I flat out want it more than you. But I've always wanted to be somebody. You probably heard that term, fake it till you make it. Any of you ever done that before? My first job, I was an electrician. Then I was a bus boy at the whole enchilada. That was an upgrade because they let me go as an electrician because I couldn't show up to work and get there by 6 a.m. And then I worked at an orphanage that changed my life, and then I became in the financial business and got wealthy. There's nothing about me. So I wanted to be rich. I started in a financial company. I'm like, hey, I can't be driving around like, I had a Honda CRX. So I thought, man, I need to drive a Mercedes for people to take me damn serious. So I'm reading in the Penny Saver, and it says, Kit Car Mercedes. 1997, Mercedes-Benz 600 convertible kit car that's built on an 88 Chrysler LeBaron frame. I'm not playing with you. I did this. I lived in that car for 2 years. That's the story of me wanting to be somebody. So I don't know where you're at right now, but are you slightly ahead of a Velcro together Mercedes? Yes or no? Yes? Now, what did I become? What changed with me where things changed? I read a book called Selling the Dream by a guy named Guy Kawasaki about that same time. Guy Kawasaki was the guy that sort of marketed Macintosh for Apple. They had a dude that led that company who was a crazy man named Steve Jobs. And Steve Jobs didn't have a high IQ. He was an intense, psycho, crazy. He was a great storyteller. Write this down. The greatest leaders are evangelical about their cause. They are cause-oriented leaders. To the extent that you'll be a great father, is to the extent that you can become evangelical about the cause and the mission your family's on. I'm constantly telling my children, we're going to do something awesome. Since my son was a little boy, every night I go to bed, you're a leader, you're a gladiator, you're the greatest of all time, Mac. I tell my daughter that all the time. Why? No one told me that crap when I was growing up. So, what do those leaders have in common? If we go back and look at there, what does Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, they all have in common? In different ways, they became evangelical about their mission and their cause and their company. What's an evangelist do? A person who seeks to convert others, a zealous advocate of a cause. That's what an evangelist does. You must speak about these things, write about these things. When your people get around you, it's infectious and repetitive, and you don't tire of saying it over and over and again, because I'm relentless about it. Why? Because our obsessions become our possessions.